Yuya's master, the White Rabbit, confronts a powerful monster called the Lion Emperor in the Great Devil's Nest. The monster is unable to move in front of the rabbit, who generates a ball of water in his hand and crushes the Lion Emperor. Meanwhile, Usagi continues to train and thinks about teaching Yuya. Suddenly, a girl appears and attacks Usagi. Usagi faces a hostile girl who refuses to speak and attacks him. She reveals her intention to destroy the world and invites Usagi to join her. When he refuses, she threatens to kill him. An arrow falls between them, and the girl unleashes a technique called Arrow Cage, which sends a barrage of powerful arrows at Usagi. However, Usagi surprises her by using magic to defend himself and fight back. Usagi defends himself against the girl's Arrow Cage technique using magic. He is surprised that she can use the Archer Saint technique and wonders how she learned it. The girl reveals that Yuya taught her and threatens to kill him. Usagi tries to attack her, but she unleashes a barrage of arrows. As they close in on each other, the girl generates a black mist and disappears. Usagi is left wondering about her identity and how she can use both the Archer Saint technique and the power of evil. He considers the possibility that she may be the successor to the Archer Saint or a member of the Fist Saint. However, he is determined to stop her from destroying the world. Usagi decides to reevaluate his training for Yuya and begins to practice magic by wandering the Great Devil's Nest in search of a monster. Yuya had unintentionally offended King Arnold Sama by giving Lexia-san a paradise futon as a souvenir, which was mistakenly seen as a marriage proposal. During their audience, an attacker barged in and a battle ensued. Yuya emerged victorious, but it was later revealed that the attack was orchestrated by the prince. Arnold Sama requested Yuya's assistance in resolving the situation by escorting Lexia-san. Lexia-san proposed touring the royal capital, but Luna and Owen-san were hesitant. Lexia revealed that her brother, the prince, was behind the attack and suggested touring the city. Luna and Owen were initially reluctant, but Lexia argued that it would be safer outside the castle. Luna suggested that Lexia stay in the castle while Yuya was guided by Owen and herself, but Lexia insisted on being Yuya's bodyguard. Eventually, Owen, Luna, and Lexia agreed to guide Yuya together. Lexia and Luna took Yuya on a tour of the city, but they couldn't agree on where to go. Yuya felt uncomfortable with the attention they were drawing, but he noticed that no one recognized Lexia, who was dressed incognito. Yuya and his companions discovered a building that smelled of alcohol, and Luna informed him that it was the Adventurers Guild. Yuya expressed interest in registering as an adventurer since he was better at fighting monsters than doing business. Luna and Lexia were surprised but encouraged him to register. Luna even suggested registering with him so they could take requests together, but Yuya objected since she was his bodyguard. Nevertheless, they decided to register together. Luna, Lexia, and Yuya entered the Adventurers Guild building. Yuya felt the scrutinizing gaze of the people around him. Luna and Lexia encouraged Yuya to register as an adventurer, and they proceeded to the reception desk. Luna wanted to register with Yuya, but he refused since she was his bodyguard. Luna explained that being an adventurer would be convenient for her and prevent her from slowing him down. They discussed taking requests together, but Yuya was unsure if he would have the time. Yuya struggled to fill out the registration form, unsure of what to write for his magic attributes and the amount of magic power he possessed. The receptionist used a crystal to measure their magic power, but Yuya accidentally shattered it with his high level of magic power. The receptionist was impressed by Yuya's high level of magic power, which accidentally broke the crystal used to measure it. However, she reassured him that he didn't have to pay for it. Luna, on the other hand, was questioned about her weapon of choice, the thread, which was rare. She assured the receptionist that it was the only weapon she could use effectively. Yuya's ability to use 3 magic attributes surprised the receptionist, but he inherited it from Sage San. The receptionist noted that it was self-declared, but Yuya was truthful about his attributes and weapon preferences. The receptionist explains the guild card registration process to Yuya and Luna. They start at the lowest rank, F rank, and can only accept requests from the same or 1 rank higher. Rank promotion is based on results and attitude. There is no obligation to accept requests, and collecting more materials can result in additional compensation. The guild does not interfere in conflicts between adventurers. After registering, Yuya and Luna discuss whether to take a request. While Yuya, Luna, and Lexia are looking at the bulletin board at the Adventurers Guild, a woman dressed as a witch approaches them. Graina, an adventurer herself, tries to flirt with Yuya, but Luna pulls her away. Graina suggests that connecting with someone like Yuya could be helpful, and Luna seems to understand her intentions. However, Yuya is still new to being an adventurer and unsure about Graina's advances. After Graina leaves, Yuya comments on not being as skilled as she thinks they are. Luna warns Lexia not to move too freely as it would be difficult for Owen. Lexia suggests taking a herb collection request, but they need Owen's approval. Yuya apologizes to Owen for not being able to stop them. Yuya and his group accepted a request to collect medicinal herbs outside the capital. Although Owen was hesitant to let Lexia join, he eventually agreed. Yuya used his identification skill to differentiate the herbs, and Luna assisted him. They discovered that the request had been abandoned due to the profitability of defeating weak monsters. However, they decided to collect the herbs to prevent a shortage in case of an emergency. The request required 10 herbs, but collecting more would result in an additional reward. They enjoyed the pleasant breeze outside the city while collecting the herbs. During their herb collecting mission, Yuya and his group relished the fresh air outside the city. Lexia was thrilled to be outside, but Owen reminded her to be cautious. Yuya used his identification skill to locate the correct herb and learned the proper way to collect it. Lexia suggested a game, with the winner getting to monopolize Yuya for a day. Luna joined in, and they ran off to play. Yuya asked Knight to help him find more herbs, and they split up to search. Yuya and Knight discovered a plant that restores magic power, but it wasn't the medicinal herb they were looking for. Akatsuki found a purple grass that turned out to be a poison neutralizer. Lexia and Luna joined them, and Lexia was muddy from collecting a herb. Luna teased her for not being ladylike, but Lexia defended herself, saying it was an adventurer's courtesy. Meanwhile, Kaori thought about Yuya and remembered the incident where she kissed him on the cheek. She felt embarrassed, but also didn't want to give up on him. She decided to ask him to study for the test together. Upon their return to the castle, Yuya and his companions received news that the escaped prince had been located. Owen-san requested Yuya's assistance in securing the prince's custody, as the assassins who attacked the king were highly skilled, and they might not be able to handle an unforeseen situation. The soldiers led them to a small house on the outskirts of the royal capital, which was apparently the pavilion that the king had prepared for the prince. The prince was isolated and surrounded by soldiers, and he refused to surrender peacefully. Knight, Yuya's dog, bit the prince's arm, and the soldiers restrained him. Suddenly, something flew through the window and caused a tremendous impact, knocking the soldiers into the wall. A mysterious girl with white skin and hair broke in through the window and confronted the prince, calling him a failure and revealing a dark plan to use him as a puppet king and wage war. The girl suddenly raised a knife to kill the prince, but Owen-san tried to stop her. However, something deflected his sword, and they discovered it was an arrow. Akatsuki retrieved the arrow, but they still had no information about the mysterious girl. Yuya used identification on the arrow, but it was just an ordinary arrow. Owen-san and Yuya were confused when the girl claimed to be the only one behind the attack. She predicted Owen-san's movements and revealed her goal to kill all of humanity. Arrows rained down on them, causing chaos and destruction. Yuya couldn't make sense of the situation and wondered if the girl was trying to avoid causing damage. They needed to find a way to protect themselves and the unconscious soldiers. Yuya came up with a plan to use wind magic to create a dome-shaped barrier to block all the arrows. However, the girl seemed to be stronger than anyone else and was not affected by the wind. Owen-san successfully retrieved the prince and the soldiers, and they separated them from the girl. The girl's gaze was directed at Yuya, and she asked him if he was Yuya. Yuya and his team prepared to fight, but the girl said she had run out of arrows to attack. The girl admitted she needed to use the power of evil to defeat them, but didn't have enough magic power. She shot arrows to prevent them from chasing her and eventually escaped. Yuya and his team were left wondering who she was and how powerful she was. They realized they needed to be cautious when dealing with the Dark Guild. Despite the attack, they managed to secure the prince's custody and return to the castle. After capturing the prince and preventing an attack from a mysterious girl, Yuya is questioned by his companions and reassured of his safety. The castle is on high alert due to recent attacks and is preparing for a meeting to decide on the treatment of the prince. Despite being an outsider, Yuya is asked to participate in the meeting due to the possibility of further attacks from the Dark Guild. The prince's mask remains a mystery. During the meeting, it is revealed that the prince, Rhaegar-sama, has a severely burnt face underneath his mask. Yuya and Luna are shocked, but they are not the only ones surprised by the prince's appearance. Arnold-sama, Lexia-san, and Owen-san all have sad expressions on their faces, indicating that they knew about the prince's condition. Rhaegar-sama is brought before Arnold-sama and asked if he has any plea to make. Rhaegar-sama becomes angry and blames Lexia-san for his appearance, stating that her magic caused him to become destructive. He also blames Arnold-sama for not helping him. It is revealed that Arnold-sama hid Rhaegar-sama's appearance from Lexia-san to prevent other countries from taking advantage of the situation. Rhaegar-sama expresses his desire to kill Lexia-san and reveals that he once wished to be killed rather than suffer in his current state. Arnold regrets his decision, and Rhaegar asks him to kill him. Yuya raises his hand and approaches Rhaegar with the complete recovery herbal juice. Rhaegar tries to resist, but Yuya makes him drink it. Rhaegar reacts to the juice. Yuya's complete recovery. Herbal juice instantly heals Rhaegar's severe burns, making him handsome again. Arnold is shocked and accuses Yuya of using a forbidden item. Yuya explains that he used the legendary complete recovery herb. The soldiers are amazed, and Arnold is handed another bottle of the juice to appraise. It is confirmed to be the real thing, leaving everyone in silence. Yuya realizes he had given Rhaegar a national treasure to drink. Luna is shocked to learn that she had been taking the same thing as Rhaegar. Arnold is initially angry but later softens and hopes that healing Rhaegar's self-inflicted trauma will lighten his heart. However, Rhaegar believes it's too late as he has already done something he can't take back. Lexia notices something and calls out to her father. Lexia forgives Rhaegar for his crime of trying to kill her, stating that she is the victim and her opinion should matter. Luna points out that she was also a former member of the Dark Guild, and Lexia argues that neglecting the existence of the guild is equally guilty. Arnold is pressured by Lexia's intensity and agrees to forgive Rhaegar, but Yuya warns that it sets a bad precedent. Rhaegar is moved to tears by Lexia's forgiveness and desire to get along with him again. Rhaegar's villa is confiscated as punishment for his attack on the king. Yuya is thanked by Arnold and Rhaegar for his help, but he refuses any reward. However, Owen insists that not giving a reward could send the wrong message to other nobles. Lexia suggests marriage as a reward, but Luna dismisses the idea. Rhaegar proposes giving Yuya his confiscated mansion and land instead. Arnold suggests giving Yuya a title, but they ultimately decide on a knight peerage title suggested by Owen. Yuya is surprised by the unexpected reward and unsure of what to do with the land. Arnold assures him that it's a vacation home and he won't have any obligations as a nobleman. Lexia and Luna seem dissatisfied, but agree to the decision. Yuya is invited to see his newly acquired land and is asked about his availability. He apologizes for not being able to stay long, disappointing Lexia. Arnold suggests that Yuya stay the night at the castle, which he agrees to. However, Yuya finds the experience tiring due to the fancy food and strict etiquette, as well as Lexia and Luna's constant presence. He remembers that Lexia wants to visit his house next time, but worries about the danger it poses. He leaves for school. Yuya's classmates are panicking about the upcoming exams, but he and a few others are studying regularly. Although Yuya is worried about his performance in math and physics, he has noticed an improvement in his thinking speed. One day he runs into Kaori, the daughter of the school chairman, and they discuss their weaknesses in certain subjects. To Yuya's surprise, Kaori admits that she struggles with English and classics. Kaori asks Yuya to study with her for the upcoming test and suggests they study at his house. They teach each other their weaknesses, and Yuya's pets, Akatsuki and Knight, are also present. During a break, Kaori asks about the pets and uses the bathroom. As they continue to study together, Yuya reveals to Kaori that he has the ability to use magic, which he acquired through various powers that helped him save her and others in dangerous situations. He demonstrates his magic by forming a mass of water in his palm, which surprises Kaori. After their study session, Kaori asks to use the bathroom again, and Yuya leads her there. Yuya and Kaori find themselves in a different world where they meet Knight, a wolf, and Akatsuki, a pig-like creature. Kaori explains that they have a status in this world, and a board appears showing Kaori's status as a level 1 otherworldly person with high luck. Yuya notes that Kaori is stronger than he was when he first arrived in the world. Encouraging Yuya, Kaori tells him that he hasn't changed since the first time they met and that his special power has always helped her. Yuya is touched by her words and apologizes for despising himself. They decide to continue their studies in the Otherworld's room, where Kaori notices Yuya's Bloody War Demon series armor and asks to see it. Yuya goes to change into it, and Kaori reflects on how surprised and happy she was when Yuya revealed the secret of the other world to her. She also realizes that Yuya saved her with his power in this world. While exploring the garden, Kaori finds a strange black object behind the fence. As she approaches it, the object suddenly attacks her, but Yuya appears in his armor and saves her. He explains that monsters in this world will try to kill humans and apologizes for not warning her earlier. Yuya quickly defeats the attacking monsters with his spear. Yuya defeats the black objects with ease, revealing his true power. Kaori realizes that he had been suppressing his power all along. Yuya questions if it's wrong to kill creatures to survive in this world, but Kaori reassures him that he saved her, and that's all that matters. They head back to the house, which is well protected from monsters and enemies. Kaori compliments Yuya's armor and asks if he used to fight like that before. Yuya admits that he needed self-defense in this world and didn't want to feel powerless like when he first met Kaori. Kaori is happy that Yuya took the initiative to defeat the black objects. Yuya asks Kaori to keep the world a secret between them, and she agrees, joking that they have a special relationship. They decide to head back and study for their tests, feeling closer to each other now that they know each other's secrets. Kaori wants to study in the other world because she feels the air is better there. Yuya shows her dishes made with ingredients from the other world, which increase their status. However, Kaori didn't gain any experience from the group battle with the Hell Slime, so her level is still at 1. Yuya's exclusive weapon from Sage-san helped him beat stronger monsters, but he can't lend it out. Kaori has superhuman physical abilities on Earth due to the status-raising ingredients. Kaori asks Yuya to show her around the other world, but he hesitates. Yuya explains to Kaori that there are many monsters in the other world, and it's not as safe as Japan. He admits that he's not strong enough to protect her and apologizes. Kaori forgives him and suggests they explore the garden where Yuya grows vegetables with stat-boosting effects and a medicinal herb called the Complete Recovery Herb that can heal any wound or disease except for resurrecting the dead. Yuya acknowledges that it's a powerful effect and needs to prepare for any potential dangers in the other world. Kaori expresses her concern about the dangerous items and concepts in the other world, including the power of magic. Yuya agrees and acknowledges the potential danger if this power were to be known to the world. Suddenly, Lexia and her guards arrive, being chased by a group of goblin elite. Yuya and Kaori are bewildered by the scene, but Yuya quickly changes into his armor to help. Yuya defeats the goblin elites with his impressive kicks, and Luna and Owen also manage to defeat their opponents. After the battle, Luna reveals that they came to visit Yuya and asks about his relationship with Kaori. Meanwhile, Lexia and Kaori have a tense confrontation, and when they introduce themselves, they both turn to Yuya and ask about his relationship with Kaori. Yuya introduces his friend Kaori to Lexia, Luna, and Owen. Kaori is surprised to learn that Lexia is a princess, and Luna and Owen are her bodyguards. Lexia tells Kaori how she met Yuya when she was targeted by assassins, but they were killed by a monster in the forest. She then asked Yuya to marry her, which surprises Kaori. Luna reveals that she was one of the assassins who attacked Lexia, but Yuya saved her from the monsters. Lexia suddenly asks to take a bath, and Kaori is invited to join them. They all go to the bath, and Kaori is surprised to see a portable bath. Kaori is surprised when Yuya takes out a square object and creates a portable bath. She is nervous about taking a bath with Lexia and Luna, but eventually enjoys it. Lexia asks Kaori about her feelings for Yuya, and she admits to liking him. Luna also likes Yuya. Lexia even admits to proposing to him. Kaori is surprised to learn that polygamy and polyandry are common in their world, especially among royalty and nobility. She finds it hard to believe that such practices are acceptable in her culture, and that Yuya's economic power as an adventurer would allow him to have multiple wives. Kaori is surprised by this, as it is not acceptable in her culture. Lexia changes the topic and asks Kaori about what she knows about Yuya. They have a friendly discussion about Yuya's activities in the world, and by the end of their conversation, they have become good friends. Owen is attempting to gather information on Yuya and Kaori, but their similarities are making it difficult. He wants to report everything to Arnold, who sees potential in Yuya's abilities and legendary grade items. Arnold hopes to keep Yuya in the Alceria Kingdom and is even considering a marriage between Yuya and his daughter Lexia. However, the emergence of Kaori complicates things. Owen is also intrigued by Yuya's family, Knight and Akatsuki. Owen is trying to identify Knight's species, but the similarities with known monsters are making it difficult. He suspects Knight might be the legendary Black Fenrir, but dismisses the idea due to Knight's small size. Owen also observes Akatsuki, but finds him unremarkable. Meanwhile, Yuya, Kaori, Lexia, and Luna enjoy a bath together. Kaori is impressed by the bath's effects and the fact that it can be taken anywhere. The others don't have any specific plans for the day. Yuya's unexpected visitors, Lexia, Luna, and Kaori, express their desire to meet him. Owen assures Yuya that he has informed Arnold about their visit. However, Yuya apologizes for not having much time to spend with them as he has school the next day. Lexia and the others understand and prepare to leave, but Kaori looks sad. Lexia offers to come back the next day, but Owen informs her that she has official duties to attend to. Lexia collapses upon hearing this, and Luna wonders if she has to join in. Lexia promises to come back later, and they leave. Kaori mentions that they had a lot of fun, and Yuya asks what they talked about in the bath, but Kaori says it's a secret. Yuya decides to take a break from studying and go out with his companions, Knight and Akatsuki, to the Adventurers Guild to take on a request. Unexpectedly, they run into Luna, who joins them. Together, they search for a suitable request to complete. Luna suggests investigating the monsters around the royal capital, and they accept the request. Upon arriving at the forest, they hear a woman scream and rush to the scene. There, they find Glenna, who is being threatened by a wolf. Despite Glenna's insistence that they stay out of it, Knight barks and they prepare to fight. During the fight, Yuya and Glenna are attacked by an assassin chameleon, a B-class monster that mimics its surroundings. Luna helps them defeat it, and they learn about its habit of running away if its surprise attack is blocked. Grateful for their help, Glenna invites Yuya to her house, but Luna reminds her that she also owes Yuya her gratitude. Feeling tired, Glenna declines Yuya's offer to walk her home and leaves. Luna seems unhappy, and when Yuya asks her what's wrong, she doesn't answer. Despite this, they continue their search in the forest. After rescuing Glenna with Luna, Yuya checks the items he obtained from defeating the assassin chameleon. He decides to sell the assassination chameleon's discoloration skin for cash and keeps the cloak of disguise and bracelet of replacement. Feeling confident about his upcoming test on Earth, Yuya plans to help his friends if they need it. However, he feels a bit lonely after his study session with Kaori ended, as he has become curious about her since she accepted him despite his connection to the other world. Yuya lacks confidence due to years of being bullied and doesn't think he's suitable for her. To distract himself, he practices martial arts with Knight and Akatsuki. They realize they haven't seen Master Usagi lately and wonder about the mysterious girl Yuya encountered. Yuya suggests combining magic and close combat to become stronger. Yuya realizes that combining magic and weapon attacks can increase their chances of winning against enemies with physical and magic resistance. He decides to imbue Sage-san's weapons with magic, starting with the absolute spear covered in lightning. He successfully imbues the weapon with lightning and tests it on a tree, amazed by its power. However, he discovers that not all weapons can be imbued with magic when he tries to imbue it with fire and water. Curious, he combines all the elements he can control and creates a tornado of fire and lightning around the spear. Knight also tries imbuing his claws with lightning and successfully cuts down trees outside the garden. Yuya then has a frightening thought of using magic to move faster than Master Usagi, known for his tremendous leg strength and agility. He meditates on the image of Knight clad in thunder and imagines himself with the same power. He realizes the danger of this power and decides to train to control it. Knight and Akatsuki join him in training, but Knight suddenly growls, and Yuya senses danger. They quickly jump out of harm's way. Yuya and his companions are attacked by a mysterious girl who appears to have a grudge against them. She fires arrows at them, but Yuya manages to avoid them. The girl reveals that she sees them as a threat to her plans and seeks revenge. Yuya prepares to fight her, but his magic attire has already expired. Despite this, he remains determined to defeat her and learn more about her motives. Yuya throws the absolute spear at the girl, but she dodges it. However, the spear pursues her and attacks from behind. Yuya and Knight attack her, but she easily blocks their attacks. The girl catches Knight's attack and pushes him away. Yuya realizes she is very strong and tries to retreat, but the girl pulls out an arrow and attacks him with incredible speed. Yuya is blown away and realizes he can't defend himself in time. Yuya activates his lightning, magic attire, to resist the intense presence. The lightning not only strengthens his muscles, but also accelerates his thoughts and eyesight. He successfully dodges the girl's arrow and attacks her with Knight. The girl leaps and fires arrows at them, but they are no longer effective against their magic attire. Yuya kicks the girl, but she uses her silver bow as a shield to block the attack. Yuya and Knight attempted to attack the girl, but she easily blocked their strikes with her silver bow. Despite this, Knight managed to land a hit with a foot technique, but the girl remained unfazed. She then revealed a new weapon and fired a metal arrow that accelerated at an incredible speed. Yuya managed to dodge the arrow, but suddenly, hundreds more were released, creating a storm of arrows. Yuya and Knight struggled to avoid them, but their scratches increased with each passing moment. The girl then unleashed a powerful arrow that tore through the surrounding trees and ground. Yuya realized that it was an overwhelming attack and considered letting Knight and Akatsuki escape alone. However, they were about to be swept up by the attack when Yuya used his Heavenfly technique to evade it. A white figure suddenly appears and kicks away an arrow aimed at Yuya and Knight. It is revealed to be Master Usagi who saved them. He explains that the mysterious girl, Yuti, is the successor of the Bow Saint and seeks revenge for her master's death. Yuti blames humans for betraying and killing her master and plans to take revenge on the world. Master Usagi questions if that's truly what her master would want. Master Usagi reminds Yuti of their mission to protect the world from evil. Yuti attacks Yuya and Knight with a storm of arrows, but Master Usagi blocks the attack and urges them to do something about Yuti. They apply their magic attire and dodge the arrows to get close to Yuti. Yuti successfully repels their attacks and suddenly jumps backward, drawing her bow to the extreme. Wooden arrows suddenly fly in from around her. Yuya is surprised by Yuti's ability to calculate and aim her arrows accurately. Master Usagi suggests using a technique to stop the arrows, and he will handle Yuti's movements. Yuti releases an arrow, but Yuya successfully shatters it with a spiral kick. Master Usagi takes advantage of Yuti's momentary opening and lands a powerful kick on her. Yuti falls to the ground after being kicked by Master Usagi, but she is still conscious. Master Usagi asks her about her connection to the Dark Guild, but then asks where she got the power of the evil. Yuti becomes angry and releases a part of the evil presence, which is like an evil god. She charges at Yuya and Master Usagi, and even Yuya's Omni-Sword defense is penetrated. Yuti attacks Master Usagi, but he blocks it, causing a shockwave that blows Yuya away. Yuya drinks a complete recovery herbal juice and returns to the fight between Master Usagi and Yuti. Master Usagi explains that Yuti has the power of evil, but is not officially evil. Akatsuki suddenly appears and uses his sanctuary skill, causing Yuti's movements to become worse. The black haze from Yuti's body dissipates when it touches Akatsuki's light. Master Usagi is surprised and has some insight into Akatsuki's race. Yuya learns that Akatsuki's race is called Muju, and Knight's race is called Black Fenrir, which surprises Master Usagi. Master Usagi announces that he will be implementing a new, tougher training program. He then leaves Yuya and his companions to take care of the unconscious Yuti, who no longer possesses the power of evil. Despite Yuya's protests, Master Usagi insists that they handle her. He then abruptly leaves, leaving Yuya to carry Yuti on his back and take her into the house. In the desolate world's disposal ground, 3 shadowy figures discuss the disappearance of one of their pieces. They speculate on whether she was killed by the holy or erased by the world's self-purification process. Despite their frustration, they take comfort in the fact that their poison is slowly consuming the world and corrupting the holy. One of the shadows decides to check on the missing piece, hoping to retrieve her body as a valuable sample. The others take a break, uninterested in the holy and confident in their quest to destroy the world. After the 3 shadows disperse, Yuya worries about Yuti's well-being as she remains unconscious in his house. When she wakes up, she immediately attacks him, searching for her missing bow. Despite her lack of skill in close combat, Yuya struggles to restrain her. Master Usagi enters the room and calmly tells Yuya to hold her down. Yuti's strength fades when Master Usagi questions her loyalty to the evil. Yuya learns about the betrayal that led to the death of Yuti's master, the Bow Saint, at the hands of humans who were manipulated by the evil. The Bow Saint chose to sacrifice herself to save the humans she had been protecting, but the evil still killed them after her death. Yuti is devastated by this revelation and asks to be left alone. Master Usagi explains that the evil is a manifestation of negativity and malice on the planet and warns Yuya to remember this. Yuya can only continue his training in the Great Devil's Nest. Master Usagi warns Yuya that the evil may come to retrieve Yuti, who is a precious existence that has inherited the holy technique but hasn't become a holy. Yuya is also in danger of being caught up in the battle with the evil. Master Usagi asks Yuya to take care of Yuti, who is still very young. Yuya realizes that he has been caught up in a battle between the beings of holy and evil.